Hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
Welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn.
The show that talks about, I don't know. Stuff and things. Don't forget the things. Because sometimes you leave out the things. You don't want to leave out the things.
The stuff always gets covered.
Stuff is always there.
So much.
Things sometimes we drop off on a little bit.
I'm Peter.
So. He's Peter. And I'm Frank.
Frank, how are you doing?
I'm clearly not doing well. I'm just a rambling fool.
His medication is almost kicking in, not quite.
You know what? They look remarkably like the little Smarties things. And sometimes you have too many of one and not enough of the other. And
yikes.
It's all about balance. That's what I find. Life is all about balance.
Today,
I don't think you can see it. I got a little stain on my shirt. That's okay. That's all right. You know, I think it humanizes me a little bit. Because, I did a way that just... being human, you can't see you do.
It was the 8th cup of coffee this morning. That pushed it just
a little. Enough. Eight's a good number. 8 is enough.
7 obviously is enough.
Is enough. 8 is just perfect.
Today, on Ticket Stubs and Popcorn, our feature performer is John Turturro.
John Turturro. Love this guy. Love him even more now when you hear about my picks. So hey, so afterwards, let's talk about this thing. Cameos in movies, and you know what? Give me like a cameo that you like, but you know what doesn't count? Stan Lee doesn't count because that's too easy.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. So cameos in movies, notable ones in your mind.
Okay.
So and John Turturro, go.
John Turturro. All righty. John Turturro, a wonderful actor, great actor, and he has a certain look, and this look can be cultivated in the movies.
That's what we say when we think someone's kind of funny looking. It's got a look.
It's got a look. John Turturro. Okay, I am going to.
Have we done Steve Buscemi? That guy's got a look.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
John Turturro has got a nice little home with the Coen brothers, if he wishes, just to be doing those sort of movies.
Yeah.
So actually, a couple of my picks are Coen brothers movies. So I'm going to start with one where he is the lead, front and center, Barton Fink. Yeah, so do I. And it's if you're interested in Hollywood, maybe the trappings of Hollywood, specifically of a certain time period, and screenwriting in Hollywood, this is a great movie to watch.
And no one loves movies about Hollywood more than Hollywood.
You got it. Hollywood has a love affair with itself.
It really does.
And I do too. I love the stories where it's pretty obvious that Hollywood's in love with itself. And Barton Fink is great. This is it's all Coen brothers.
Oh God!
It's a fish out of water tale for young Barton Fink, who he's been sent for. He's going to Hollywood, and he's gonna make his mark until he finds out stuff's a little weirder than he thought.
Yeah.
And nothing I think shows and displays this, not just the fish out of water, but this utterly overwhelmed, confused person than what John Turturro does as Barton Fink. The face, he's like, oh my God,
he's got one of these faces where he can look
bewildered.
He could be bewildered. You could picture him being bewildered, or he could look very intense and very frightening.
He can be frightening, yeah. And in this one, he's, like I said, the fish out of water. He's bewildered. He's overwhelmed. First of all, he just doesn't know how this system is working. But not just that. There's stuff going on that could really only happen in a Coen brothers movie. And
will you go? Yes, I'll allow it.
Exactly. And he is perfect. He is perfect in this movie. If you haven't seen this one, go see it. There are a lot of Coen Brothers movies, so I know some might fall through the cracks. This one, hopefully, for the viewer out there, hasn't fallen through the cracks. It's
get this movie.
It's a wonderful
out of your
movie.
crack.
It's
sorry.
Ouch.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What's your next?
So Barton Fink, definitely, that's way up there on my John Turturro list. Okay, second one, we will momentarily leave the Coen Brothers universe and go to one where he is a supporting cast member in a quiz show. He plays a real-life person. The movie quiz show takes place in the late 50s, and it follows a true story. In this case, behind the scenes, but in television. And there's a scandal going on with prize money winning on game shows. Hence the title, Quiz Show. Yeah. And he plays Herb Stempel, and this was a real person, and he had was in real life, as he's portrayed in the movie, just a middle class, intelligent man, a middle class Jewish American from New York, and that's what John Turturro lays out before our feet beautifully. But he's also got a little bit of resentment, a little bit of paranoia, because somebody else is beaten him, has broken his record, and John Turturro is just angry and resentful enough where he says, "I know a secret, and I'm gonna."
Yeah.
And
he's too much of a maniac for me to be, believable.
Exactly. It is like, I know a secret, and now's my time to tell the secret. Blows the lid off this other thing, and there are times where he's proud, but he's petty, he portrays it so well. Yeah, he's so believable.
Bottled up. He's like so bottled up, and you're just waiting for him to pop.
Bothers him, he's given hints or recommendations about answers or about fake answers.
Yeah.
And it bothers him that they want him to miss a question that he did know, or he finds out that, well, I'm not the only one this is happening to now, and he goes, I know they're got to be giving him answers.
Yeah.
Things like that. And it's just funny. You see him as this sometimes a little man in the petty sense. And he really does a good job in this movie.
Yeah.
And it makes this movie, Quiz Show, it makes that one eminently rewatchable. We talked about reruns and why we watch movies again in the past, and this is one of these great performances. So I enjoy seeing him. What we'll say in the non-Coen Brothers real world, maybe. I don't know if that's a thing, but
he's allowed to see other people.
Yeah, he's allowed to see other people. So brings me to my third and last choice. It's a smaller role. It is a Coen Brothers movie. There's lots of characters in this movie, but it's tough to ever forget the Jesus, Jesus Quintana.
Yeah.
And it's just the Jesus. You can tell that they wrote this most likely for him in mind, and he said, I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to go a little more, and then if they make me stop, I'll stop. If they don't tell me to stop, I'm going to keep going. He's wonderful. He's basically, we only see him at the bowling alley, although we do see him having to go door to door because he's a registered sex offender. this where I'm not laughing at that at sex offenses, but I'm just saying it's the way it's in this thing. He's just funny. He's all bravado. He's machismo. He's, you know what I mean. He can be volatile. He's threatening, or at least he wants to be threatening. You know.
I think he is. He's
but it's he has so much, at least I believe he has so much fun with this character that it just makes it fun for me anyway. It makes this movie, The Big Lebowski, I could watch this one every week if I had to. If somebody said, "Can you do it?" Oh, I can do it. It's tremendous. So in The Big Lebowski, there's a lot of stuff going on. Wonderful characters. This is one that's just you got to see it to believe it.
We overlap on that one. It's such a small. I mean, there's so many weird things going on in that movie, and he's just one of the great weird things in this movie. And and it's interesting that with so much weird stuff going on, that doesn't get lost. That his character,
and it also doesn't take away from other stuff either. Like
it's perfectly done, and Coen Brothers get mad props for that, and John Turturro for making it so great. They're actually going to give that character his own movie. They're going to there's going to be a Jesus movie. So don't fuck with the Jesus. So looking forward to that. Love that. Just the whole idea. He's fantastic. It's so perfect.
Can't say enough about it.
And I like to think that the Coen Brothers was just like, yeah, John, let's see what happens. Yeah. And it was just beautiful, perfect. My next one would be in Do the Right Thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, Pino. And he is just that's such an intense movie, and it builds. And it builds and it builds.
It's this incendiary fire going.
And he's one of the sparks that gets things going. And he's, again, I mean, it's a shame that still, like 30 some odd years later, like this is still how America is. It's still this stupid, petty, bullshit argument kind of place.
Exactly.
That causes major problems. That things that just get blown out of proportion. Right. This is totally one of them. And he's so believable. He's so angry, and it just escalates. And he's probably not a bad person. This character's not a bad person. He's just sort of that's his environment, and it just manifests itself in a really, really bad way. And these things just come clashing. And he's so great in that. Such an intensity from him there. Probably my most recent favorite of his is in the Apple TV Plus show Severance.
I've heard you talk about this.
Oh my God,
not on
show,
camera.
Yeah, so if you don't know this show, basically people do this procedure where their brain has something done to it, and they go to work, and they lose any memory of their outside life, and when they leave work, they go up in this elevator and they just sort of blink out for a second, and they don't remember anything about work. So it's literally like two separate people. They don't know what their lives are like outside of work. They don't know what their lives are like inside of work. It's really, really fascinating. And John Turturro's character Irving, he's this company man and rah 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 and all that. But as the show goes on, there are things that happen. I don't want to spoil it. I want everybody to go watch it. There's a there's this great vulnerability that shows up, and then there's this. It's so great when you start to see aspects of his outside work life and how they clash in a way. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but his performance is. I hope he gets an Emmy for it. I really, really do. It is amazing, and it's such a slow burn show. Give it a chance. If you get to the second, third episode and you're like, oh, nothing's happening, it's all there. Just have patience. So it's so good. He's so great in it. Everybody in it is so good. Yeah, so those are my three for John Turturro.
And it always, as we've done this in the past too, it always hurts to have to leave some behind. We can only pick three, but I'm glad that you did Do the Right Thing. That was way up there on my list.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou was the other one.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, could I end up with three Coen brothers? I say, well, I actually do like shows.
Little bit.
So it's like, it's his bread and, well, I'm not going to say bread and butter, but
I think that some of his iconic stuff has been in some of the Coen brothers stuff.
Yeah. He's tremendous. And he's what's the one? Is it Secret Window or whatever, the one with Johnny Depp? Like that one, he's scary in that movie.
Oh, I saw that.
Secret
Don't remember a damn thing about
Garden.
it. No, Secret Garden is
Secret
something
Window?
else. Yeah, Secret Garden I think is Jane Plowright, kids.
Yeah, that's a kids one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
but
anyway.
he's in a lot of good stuff. He can do anything.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cameos. Notable cameos.
Okay, yeah. Let me.
This is the part where he qualifies how he defines a cameo. So
no, when you asked about the cameo, in my mind, I said, okay, quick, think of some cameos, and I got to be honest, some were coming at me like, this too, and okay, I like when a cameo is done in a way that you see the person. The person might be merely playing themselves just for a split second or a short little gag, whatever, where they're playing themselves. It's not necessarily stunt casting. Yeah. There is that going on sometimes. But this, in my mind, I'm going to give you, I love, I like this movie a lot more than you do. There's something about Mary, but Brett Favre shows up in this movie. They refer to an ex-boyfriend as Brett. Yeah. They say, oh, he's from the Midwest. He was athletic, that sort of thing. But and then at the end you find out it's like Brett Favre, and he's this normal guy who just happens to be at the time, the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, and it's just. You know what I mean? So that surprised me as well, but it's fun, and then the fact that the Ben Stiller character just has trouble pronouncing his last name, Favre.
Which reminds me of Super Troopers.
Yeah.
I don't want a large Favre.
So that one comes to mind. I love. When Bill Murray plays Bill Murray in Zombie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That one's just did not expect
that. So
would
you consider that? Would you consider that a cameo?
Yeah, I don't know. That one might be a little bigger, huh?
Yeah,
a little. Yeah, you're right.
It is,
that one. Yeah,
because it's also key to the plot.
Yeah, you're right. That one might be a little bigger than just a cameo. Then. Yeah, for instance, I could never think of. John Malkovich as John Malkovich in Being John Malkovich's cameo. That's a big role.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that one with the Bill Murray. That one character in Zombieland he does have a bigger role. Okay. Neil Patrick Harris in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
That's just kind of fun. Bob Barker in one of those.
One of that. I think it's Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. It was either that one or Billy Madison, but I think it's Happy Gilmore. It's like a golf tournament, pro-am sort of thing or whatever, celebrity tournament or something. And I like that one.
I recently watched High Fidelity.
There's other ones
recently, and I had totally forgotten that just Bruce Springsteen shows up.
Bruce Springsteen is in it. Yeah, you're right.
He just sort of pops up real quick, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Of course.
I think it's, and you're the Woody Allen guy, Annie Hall, when they're in line at the movies.
Marshall McLuhan.
Yeah, Marshall McLuhan.
Yeah, and he says, just to prove my argument, we'll
bring.
He pulls him out of line waiting at a movie.
Or is it Kurt Vonnegut?
Marshall McLuhan.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, that's not what I meant. So
exactly.
You've got to complete. And I love that that kind of stuff.
And so
I think
he's
is really
like,
fun. It's a nice little.
Why couldn't all arguments in life be like this? He says something.
And now we have the internet, so all arguments are kind of like that. You can't solve every argument like that. So
those are.
those are pretty good ones.
Yeah. There, what you got?
No, the Bruce Springsteen one. That's the one that sort of popped the question in my head.
There's a movie which I haven't seen in a long time, but I liked the way that this aspect was developed. There's a movie called Mickey and Maude, and it's a Dudley Moore movie. But anyway, he's I forget what the thing is. He's like dating two women, or he might be married to one, and he's seeing whatever. But one of the women he's dating, her father's a professional wrestler, so like that becomes a little part of her life growing up. So she's used to all these people. So you see like Andre the Giant as Andre the Giant in the movie. Every once in a while you just see this massive hand resting on someone's shoulder because he's like in a scene. You're like,
or like when Billy Zane shows up in Zoolander. Zoolander's got a bunch of them.
Yeah. Is David Bowie in that one?
David Bowie shows up in that one too. Yeah. So.
who you just reminded me of another one. In Wedding Singer. Nice Day for a White Wedding.
Oh, Billy Idol.
Billy Idol, thank you.
See, even Billy Idol gets it. Yeah.
He's in on the plane, right?
Yeah.
And then I forgot. Yeah, he's in like that.
Yeah, those are fun. I like it because a little wink to the audience kind of thing is always kind of fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Anyway, kids, hey, let's do the bucket.
And then of course you could do directors who do in their own movie, like Hitchcock or Quentin Tarantino. Martin Scorsese did a couple times too.
John Irving shows up in he shows up in Cider House Rules.
Oh yeah.
As Trank. He also shows up in there's another one where he's sweeping something outside a store. I can't remember what. Anyway, this will be cool. I like her. She's cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, kids.
Stuff. It's all good
stuff. You have a great day. So happy. I don't know. What month is this now? I don't even know anymore. So,
wow.
Be safe out there, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening and all that. Bye-bye.